We couldn't have done this without the support of organizations like the Mona Foundation, which has also been very agile and holistic in its response. Our Mona came up immediately and said, what is it you need? They did not presume. They were happy to let us use the funding that they have already given us in the way in which it would be deployed best. And they felt we knew the best how it could be done. For those of us who live in fairly comfortable homes, the stay at home didn't sound as alarming, and we had a home to stay in. But what did it do? And I know when that announcement came, my first thought was, well, what about people who don't have homes, who live on pavements, who live in very fragile structures, in very, very dense slums? What's going to happen to them? So, if you're asking me how it affected India, of course, schools were shut down. And we have 320 million children who were totally, suddenly out of school. Schools were shut down, people were at home, and people were afraid. And in several cases, people were out of jobs, they had no savings, and they had no money, they were hungry. And they were terrified about what's going to happen in the future. Our first task was to manage the fear. The 3/4 of the children that we serve come from very poor backgrounds. And they were the ones who were most frightened, they were the ones who were most affected by all of this. They were also the ones who were more disconnected, because India has a huge digital divide. Actually, all the divides came to the surface and became very visible through this crisis. When we got in touch with them, our first response was not, oh, get onto the phone and let's start teaching you. It was, how are you, and don't be frightened. Giving them accurate information about the pandemic was our first response. The second response was that, do you need food? Are you hungry? And our sister organization, Didis, got into action immediately. We had to get them curfew passes. 10 of them came, and we have served over 100,000 meals for the next 2 months. We did that. Not just our own chef families, but also the migrants who were coming. We started serving a community kitchen that the government had put in place.
Today we are going for the distribution of grocery, masks and sanitizer soaps to our Aurangabad center of Gyan Setu. These items have been donated to us by Mona Foundation. The same distribution was done yesterday at another 2 slum centers of Gyan Setu, Ojariao and Gyan Setu, Gomti Nagar station. Indeed, it was a great help for the people. We sensitized them about the need of the mask, and they were really thankful. So thank you, Mona, for all your help.
Of course, then masks were needed. So we came up with making masks en masse and distributing them. Then our girls told us that, girls are going to need sanitary towels. It's a very important need that nobody is noticing. So then we started manufacturing reusable sanitary towels, and our girls went house to house to deliver these packets. Then we also, parallelly, we were thinking of, okay, and now let's look at syllabus coverage. Let's look at learning outcomes, right? And so then we started working at training our teachers on what to do online, and also telling them that this was an opportunity to learn. For our more remote areas, and especially in rural India, there we gave our Gyan Setu teachers and other alumni small laptops. We bought them. We bought 64 of those, and an internet connection. And we told them that we would train them remotely. We would send them the teaching material remotely from Lucknow or from Vidyasthali, and they would then transmit it to the children within their ambit. And in some cases, where possible, as the lockdown lifted, they were even calling them and having them sit outdoors, far apart, maintaining all social distancing norms and with masks, and they were teaching them. It was a huge help. And we also understood that we could multiply our outreach if we continued this practice even after the pandemic.
Hey!